It's not exactly a secret that the Yankees have disappointed to start the year. They're a team that many, myself included, thought of as the favorites in the National League, so to see them in last place in the East is sort of surprising. Given it's only a couple weeks into the season, but there are cracks showing in what was supposed to be a solid Yankees roster. Let's just look at the surface level numbers first. The Yankees are 28th in the league in runs scored, which is not good per se. The Yankees lineup is star-studded, so you'd expect them to be top 5 at least in runs scored, so let's try to diagnose the issue and figure out if there are long-term concerns for the rest of the season or if they're just getting unlucky. In terms of individual performance, pretty much only Aaron Judge and Gio Urshela are playing up to expectations, while Brett Gardner, Gary Sanchez, and DJ LeMahieu have been fine, and everyone else, especially Giancarlo Stanton, have been horrible. Some underperformance is to be expected this early in the season, but for an entire team to be this much worse than previous years, you'd think there must be some underlying factors at work, so let's dive into the advanced metrics and see where the Yankees rank. One positive factor for New York is they're 4th in the league in walk rate and spot on average in strikeout rate, so by that logic they're generally effective in strike zone management, but there are some numbers that don't totally uphold this theory. Yankees hitters rank 24th in the league with a 44.8% swing rate, which seems to support the idea their hitting coach or front office have been pushing the hitters more towards being patient at the plate. This in and of itself isn't a bad thing. The bottom 3 teams in swing rate are San Diego, Oakland, and the Dodgers, who all have great offenses, but having a low swing rate and a high walk rate don't help a ton if you aren't making great contact or letting a lot of good pitches go by. Their quality of contact, measured by expected WOBA, is 19th in the league, 9 points below league average and 25 points below what the team figure was in 2020. On top of this, their actual WOBA is 29th in the league and 36 points lower than their expected WOBA, a difference that's the 3rd highest in the league, showing that they've been getting remarkably unlucky on top of their contact not being very good. A lot of Yankees fans seem to subscribe to the theory that the offense as a whole is selling out for power and walks too much, letting too many hittable pitches go by, which leads to more strikeouts and worse contact numbers, so let's put this theory to the test. The Yankees rank dead last in baseball in slugging percentage and 26th in home runs, so if they are selling out for power, it really isn't working. Their swing rate outside of the zone is low, which is good, and their swing rate in the zone is below average, but nothing to be too concerned about. Their exit velocity and launch angle numbers, while below average and lower than what you'd expect given the bats in their order, aren't alarmingly bad. Ultimately, they have the 2nd worst team batting average in the league, meaning basically nothing is going right for them in terms of batted ball luck, and the approach may be a contributing factor, but probably isn't the main one, especially considering they have solid walk and strikeout rates. I have to chalk the team's lack of offense up to mostly bad luck and slow starts. I don't think there's any organizational failure in the Yankees' approach at the plate or mass regression for all their hitters happening. The lineup is just too good to perform this poorly for an extended period of time. So let's talk the pitching instead, which on the very surface level numbers has been pretty good, with a 3.41 team ERA 6th best in baseball, but there's some more underlying numbers that are more concerning. Garrett Cole has been predictably excellent, tying for the league lead in pitching WAR, but outside of him the starters have been pretty disappointing. Jordan Montgomery has been decent, but him, Jamison Tyone, Corey Kluber, and Domingo Germán have combined for a 5.53 ERA in 12 starts, which is definitely not a good sign, especially considering all but Tyone have FIPs higher than their ERA. Perhaps even more concerning is that these 4 starters have averaged just 4 1/3 innings per start, which has put a lot of stress on the bullpen 4 out of 5 games. The bullpen has been excellent so far, with Aroldis Chapman, Chad Green, Darren O'Day, Michael King, Jonathan Loáisiga, and Luis Cessa all having sub-2 ERAs in small samples, but realistically, how long can that hold up, especially if they have to pitch 5+ innings most games? I don't see this as the true talent level of the pen, so unless the starters step it up, or at least start to go deeper into games, the Yankees pitching probably won't be able to maintain this performance. In other words, I think that while it's been good pitching, specifically relievers, that's kept the Yankees from completely falling apart, I still haven't changed my mind that it's the offense is the strong point of this team. While they haven't shown it yet, guys like Stanton and Torres are just too talented to be this bad for an entire season, so even if the bullpen regresses, the underlying numbers show the Yankees offense is getting unlucky enough to make them look a lot worse than they actually are. All in all, I wouldn't be too worried about the Yankees yet, especially since no team has really distinguished themselves as a frontrunner in the American League. While I do think April has exposed the team's lack of starting pitching depth, I think you can chalk up most of their offensive struggles to small sample size. Fangraphs still gives the Yankees a 76% chance to make the playoffs and a 51% chance to win the AL East, despite the slow start, both the highest figures for any AL team. While vocal Yankee fans may call for GM Brian Cashman to be fired after every loss, we're only 1/8 of the way through the season. No fan of any team should be too worried about their team's playoff hopes just yet. Sorry for being kinda slow on the videos lately, but I'm looking to be more active for the next month or two at least. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.